Did I mention that I am actually the first drag queen elected to public office in
Do
the
you
United
dress in
States of
drag when
America?
you go and
I do,
it's your
yeah.
job?
I just got elected to Silver Lake Neighborhood Council. I was elected in April. I was sworn in May.
Awesome.
And every meeting that I've been to, I show up like this because you know what? I've got a bigger presence like this, and people will pay attention when you look like this.
Hey everybody, I'm your host Elad, and today I'm reporting to you from LA at the Pride March. Let's go talk to some people, see what's going on. Can you tell me a little bit about more why you're out here today?
I am out here today to celebrate the beautiful community that I am a part of, the LGBTQ, trans, black and queer, everyone, women, everything. I'm out here to celebrate. I'm out here in this fabulous outfit, standing here strong, proud as a black queer man in this world of tragedy, honey. That is all.
It seems like Bernie doesn't check off a lot of intersectional boxes that a lot of people care about today. He's old, white, and straight. How can he battle that and to become more intersectional or be embraced by more people who want more intersectional feelings?
100%. I even lament, it's unfortunate that the leader of our movement is, as you say, old, white, and straight.
Why is it unfortunate if he's still pressing for the things that you guys like?
Exactly. And so we are with the candidate for justice, and so if that's an old white man, then damn it, we're fighting for justice in a real and true and solid way that gets to the root of the issues in the community and enables us to rebuild from the ground up these systems that are broken and marginalizing people left and right.
Yeah. Amongst a Democratic field full of very progressive candidates who are intersectional, we have Kamala Harris, who is a black woman. She has a lot of roots here. And we also have Pete Buttigieg, who is actually, I believe, the first openly gay candidate running. Why don't you guys support somebody more intersectional or somebody who's gay?
Sure. What we've seen throughout history is that the people who are actually members of the community have their own minds, right? And often will support candidates or support policies that are not necessarily the most revolutionary, the most justice-driven policies. And so in the event that, the person that's fighting for justice is a white person or is a man, then that is what we need to get behind. And we can talk a lot about the problems with some of the other candidates, but at the end of the day, we're out here having positive conversations about Bernie and just making connections with people.
So we're out here today in LA for the Pride March. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you guys are out here and what it means for you guys to be out here?
Well, because I live up the street.
I will say there are so many people around this country and around this world who don't get to express the truth self that they are. And for us to be able to do that here in LA is amazing. And it shows everybody around the world that you need to be true to yourself. So super proud to be here.
True. And then you need a sticker.
Thank you.
Now you got a heart
And
on.
everyone's happy. Everyone is happy here. It's like we're all in unity.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of different attires, a lot of interesting attires. Can you tell me more about what the different attires have to do with gay pride, LGBT pride, and just pride in general?
I've got a rounder bum.
He does. He really does.
And what do you guys think?
Yeah, it's more about bright colors, showing yourself, your different personalities and things like that, having a good time.
Individuality. Being about who you are and true to yourself. Being an individual.
Want to wear? Who cares? It's like who cares?
Yeah. Trump says he's a pro-gay president. Trump.
Who?
So I'll explain to you why he says it.
Next question, please.
He says it because he was the first person who, while running for president, supported gay marriage. Do you guys think he's a pro-gay president? And what do you think about him being the first candidate?
He's a fake president.
Yeah, no, that's fake news. No, not true whatsoever.
And
He is the foe of the LGBTQ community. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
who do you guys want to see run against him in 2020 and then I guess take him out? You guys want me to run him against
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama?
Yes.
I mean, she's not running. Anybody else who's running?
Well, it's too early to tell. It's too early to
I
tell.
like Kamala.
It's a big field. We've got a long way to go. We've got.
Yeah, I like her.
She's the governor here or the attorney? She was something in California.
She was Attorney General. Yeah, we like Kamala.
I know we have Pete Buttigieg, who I believe is the first openly gay candidate. What do you guys think about Pete Buttigieg, and does the community really embrace him?
Well, I don't know if the community appraises them yet because it's too early.
Sure.
It's too early. We're just listening.
You don't want to embrace someone just because they are gay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just because he's gay does not mean he's got to get my endorsement. I'm a
So you
political
guys are
activist.
against things like identity politics then, right? Because that's
Yeah,
what that is.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the best person for the job.
Yeah, it's really looking at all of the issues and what's going to make us a global power again, and what makes America what America is. Because someone's gay doesn't make them a great president, but understanding the gay community does really factor in of who's going to be a right president.
100%.
I had one last question. I see we have a ton of corporations here. Coming by is like a Macy's thing, and all the companies are here using all the rainbow colors. Do you guys think that it's a good thing that these corporations are embracing it, or do you guys think that they're just trying to profit off the movement?
Both.
And you guys are
A little bit of both. If you're going to be here and you're going to promote gay pride and you're going to be part of the movement, that's amazing. But talk to me about how you embrace your employees and the benefits you give them and how you really embrace them in the workplace. That's what's going to get my dollars.
Why are you here promoting your YouTube channel here at Gay Pride?
Well, I'm all about being a part of the media, and I don't think the news does a good job nowadays of seeing what the people really think. I think we have figureheads who speak for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, you guys aren't the people we hear from. There's a head honcho that speaks for the whole community, and I don't like that. I think the people are because there's diverse thoughts and opinions here, and I really like that. So I wanted to get the diverse thoughts and opinions. Not everybody here agrees on everything, but that doesn't mean that. But it's a good thing that we could come together
right.
and talk about the issues.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here. YouTube channel is called Barely Informed with Elad. If you guys wanted to check it out. Was there anything else you guys wanted to mention?
A really great point you made is the gay community is not ubiquitous. We don't vote the same way. We are very diverse in amongst ourselves. So we all have different perspective and different things that like get our dollars and gain our vote. So it's not a bilateral movement across the gay community. Like, we're all looking for what's important to us.
Absolutely, that's great. Anything else you guys wanted to mention?
No.
Thank you for
Thank you
your time.
guys so much for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate it. You
you.
guys were
Thank
great. I wanted to ask you guys, because you guys are wearing Pride is Universal, and I think, is this like a Comcast brand shirt? A lot of these brands are embracing Pride Month. Some critiques are saying that they only want to do it for profit. Others say that they're embracing it because they're embracing Pride. Do you guys think it's well-meaning or just for profit?
It's the same thing.
Well-meaning and for profit are the same thing?
Yeah.
Well-meaning for the pockets, maybe. What do you think?
It means well-meaning. I mean, like, when you understand what's going on in the world today, if you take a stance, you plant your foot, and you're there. And
Well, is this kind of like a safe stance nowadays in the U.S.? It's very brand-friendly to be pro-gay.
He's giving a corporate, he's giving a corporate answer. There's not very many people that are going to be out there looking for jobs that are going to apply to some place.
No, it just feels like every company, every beer, I've seen a lot of plane companies today too. Yeah. Everybody's just Pride. Everybody has their rainbows on it. But is it genuine? You know, what have they done before it was comfortable to be pro-gay? What have they done for the movement? I'm not just what detractors say.
I can't speak to what they've done previously, but I know, at least where we're at, everyone is extremely proactive, and we don't speak for the company, and we don't speak before years ago.
No, but just as people wearing the stuff, right?
As people wearing this stuff, it's understandable that like you take a stand and you're there, and that is what you feel, and that's how you feel, and it's one world, one people. Simple as that. Everyone wants to politicize it or make it about a company forward thing. Like, most companies are open to everybody.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for them to limit their hiring practices or their employing practices.
Yeah, absolutely. I also wanted to ask you guys, Trump says he's a pro-gay president. He said during the campaign, he was the first president to ever be elected who said...
Let's not get into it.
Not get into it?
Let's not get into it. You're not going to win that one.
There's no winning or losing. Trump says he's pro-gay. Do you think he's pro-gay?
That's a lose-lose situation.
I can answer.
That's not for NBC. That's a lose-lose situation.
Thank you guys. As a trans person, do you feel welcome in the U.S. and in general in Western nations, relatively welcome, as opposed to in Asian countries or Middle Eastern countries? How do you think they fare versus America's human rights issues on that?
I think it's a little bit hard to say because truthfully, I haven't done a lot of exploration in some of those countries.
Would you feel comfortable going on a trip to Egypt or somewhere in Dubai or something
I would, especially because Lindsay Lohan is in Dubai.
Sure.
But when it comes down to it, really, here in America,
they have a bad track record, some of those countries, on gay rights, on LGBTQ rights.
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. But I feel like our country, uses that to, allow us to, not actually help gay people. They're like, these countries aren't doing it as much. We need to be the standard. We need to be the.
I feel like we already are, relative to the other countries.
No, we are, but I think there's so much more that needs to be done, and. I don't think we're doing as much as being the world superpower. America's always tried to be the superpower, and I think it's a fucking joke.
Do you believe in American exceptionalism as somebody who serves in public office?
I believe in America thinking that it has American exceptionalism, but I don't think it's actually true because you know what? We don't really set a positive standard. I'm actually really disappointed with how America is right now in terms of...
do you think we're the greatest country on earth? Do you think we're
No,
exceptional?
I'm so proud to be a part of this country, but at the same time, there's so much more that this country can do in terms of helping minorities, whether it be LGBTQ, whether it be people of color, whether it be anybody that has less rights than the general public, which is a lot of fucking people.
Absolutely.
And that's what really pisses me off about America is it pretends to be, the land of the free. Well, okay, land of the free if you're a cis white male.
So we're out here for the Pride March, but we're at the side where there's a protest. Could you tell me a little bit about why you guys are out here and what you think about the protest behind you?
Yeah. Okay, so basically with the protest going on, they're saying how we are sinning because of God. But if God created us, and if they made us gay, straight, bisexual, wherever we are, how is that a sin if they created us?
And what do you think?
I think that it's really inappropriate that they're presenting their feelings now on a day where millions are celebrating Gay Pride Month. But in terms of religious respect, being gay doesn't always have to do with religion, so I think it's kind of like not fair to others.
Why do you think these people are so strongly against gay people?
I think they really believe in the Old Testament where homosexuality wasn't allowed and was prohibited by God. But now that there's a New Testament, it's modern society and the conservative ways aren't really up to date because of democracy rising in the United States.
Video on the rally. Is there any chance I could ask you some questions?
Absolutely.
So we're out here today in LA for the Pride March. Can you tell me a little bit more about what it means for you to be out here?
For me, it's a protest. We're protesting all of the violence that's happening against our community still today, against trans people, against people of color, and some people are just here to party, and that's okay too. It's just all about all-inclusive love.
Yeah. So you were talking earlier about how gay people are attacked, trans people are attacked. How can we help curb those attacks or have, trans and gay people be able to protect themselves against that?
Just to make it known and to spread the awareness that you have and to spread the knowledge that you have to people who may not have it, and to open up conversations and to also admit when you don't know something so that people can open up conversations to you too.
Do you think that gun rights for gay or trans people could help them defend themselves against people who are attacking them?
Absolutely.
So would you like the loosening up of gun control laws so trans and gay people could get guns and defend themselves?
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I definitely feel like we should be able to protect ourselves in any way that we can, and but I mean, it's a really controversial topic, so.
I also see a lot of attires out here, and they're all really interesting. I see you have an interesting attire yourself. Can you tell me what the different attires mean and how they intersect with the gay community, the drag community, so on and so forth?
For me, it's just about bending gender and making people look over and not being able to guess what's man and what's woman, because it's really, gender is a human construct, so I just want to remind people of that by bending gender. So I'm gender nonconforming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was there any other big issues that you think gay, non-gender conforming, or trans people are facing that, otherwise people not in the community should know about?
Yeah, there's definitely so many. I mean, there's a lot of microaggressions that happen and a lot of institutionalized things that, like bathrooms just being man or woman when they're single-person bathrooms, and there's really no reason that they should just be man or woman bathrooms.
Or just single-room bathrooms, right?
Yeah, they could totally be gender neutral if they're single person, or if they're not, too. I mean, nobody's going to attack you.
Absolutely.
So.
Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, just thank you for interviewing me.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a good one. So we're in LA, and I know people are scared to wear red hats. I see you're wearing a red shirt. It says, "Make racists afraid again." Can you tell me more about what you mean by the shirt? And were you scared that somebody might have mistook this for a MAGA shirt?
No, I mean, people are definitely reading it. I have to say, the Channel 7 people, the mayor, the sheriff's department has all come over and been very supportive of seeing it. So I love a little good irony.
So how should we make racists afraid again?
Come out.
This is what's making racists
Come
afraid.
out.
Absolutely. Trump says he's a pro-LGBT president. He was the first president who, while he was running, said he supported gay marriage. Do you guys champion him as such, like a pro-LGBT president?
He's a liar. Fake news.
And who do you want to see run against him and take him out? I know we have our first openly gay Democrat running, Pete Buttigieg, but who do you support and who do you want to see take Trump out?
It's too early. I love Elizabeth Warren, but let's see.
One last question. I wanted to ask, what did you think the biggest issue that the LGBTQ plus community is facing nowadays, and how could we address that issue?
I am horrified at the murders of black trans women. I think that we absolutely need to be addressing the struggles in the trans community, and especially with people of color specifically. It's my understanding of oppression and justice that, you know, the more layers of oppression that people are experiencing in their everyday lives, then the more difficult it is to climb out and build what used to be what we thought was going to be the American dream, and it's just not available to people anymore. And the more layers of oppression that we're experiencing, the more and more we get beat down and don't have a way to climb ourselves up and our families throughout the system. That's why we're struggling to change this broken economy and this broken political system.
I wanted to follow up on that point. So Bernie Sanders in Vermont, he was a relatively pro-gun candidate in Vermont when he was a senator there. And you were talking about violence against black trans people. Do you think if black trans people had access to firearms, they could defend themselves properly against violence like that? Is that something you'd support, and do you think Bernie Sanders would support? Or what do you think? How can we help trans people defend themselves?
You know, I'm not an expert in the self-defense in the trans community. I think that whatever people feel they need to do to defend their lives is something that we need to consider. I'm personally anti-gun, you know.
But isn't Bernie pro-gun? At least in Vermont, he was pro-gun, very pro-gun. I don't know if he would be on the national level, but...
Exactly. It's my feeling that Bernie is going to take his cues on an issue like that from the people. I know that, you know, his comments around the school shootings make me believe that he will be someone that we can count on when it comes to gun legislation. Vermont is a rural, mostly state. I know we've heard this line before, but Bernie is really about people protecting people's rights, and I think right now we're looking at loss of life, and that supersedes people's, you know, right to access a firearm.
But not for the trans community who's specifically being attacked, and they'd have the opportunity to defend themselves with this firearm. So how are we weighing those? You're saying he wants to protect rights. I guess that excludes the Second Amendment, right?
Again, I'm not speaking for Bernie. I know that this is an issue that, you know, we in the progressive community struggle around. For me personally, I'm anti-gun. I don't want to see any guns anywhere. I don't want our cops carrying guns.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, we have cops around here with guns, and they're meant to protect us. So what should they have to be able to, like, protect us or protect other people, right? Like,
I mean, we could go all day about the gun discussion. Again, I'm personally anti-gun, and I believe that Bernie will make decisions based on what the people need.
Absolutely.
And I believe that he has grown and evolved on many issues, and guns is one of them.
Sure. So just to finish up, was there anything else you wanted to mention?
I just want to thank you for stopping and talking to us about Bernie Sanders, and we really appreciate any opportunity to talk about his message, and also thank you for covering Pride because it's so important.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Thank you. Thank you again. How do the attires intersect with the movement?
Of what?
Of, like, the LGBTQ movement.
Oh, I mean, a huge amount of people in the BDSM community are LGBT and all gender spectrums, all sexualities and all that. So there's a lot of crossover and intersectionality just inherent within that.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there a goal of the movement? I know we were talking earlier, they were talking about Stonewall 50 years ago, and we were celebrating that. But what else are we celebrating, and what else are we trying to see changed?
All right.
Too hard of a question.
Just like equality and just continuing what we had to deal with 50 years ago, and just like bringing it together and positivity. And I see this year is just so much bigger, and everybody's really like equal in wanting that.
Nowadays, I feel like everything's super politicized. I'm assuming you guys aren't Trump supporters. Who do you guys want to see take Trump out in 2020?
Anyone better.
Honestly,
Anybody else but Trump?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, no, not anybody else but Trump. I said anybody better.
Anybody better than Trump?
Anybody better with actual ideals about acceptance and love towards other people, who isn't going to shut people out but bring people in a positive way.
Is that like any Democrat? Or are there any Democrats that you guys wouldn't support?
I don't really want to talk about that here. There are certain Democrats who are also against sex work, and I would not like to see them make the presidency. Let's say that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know it's interesting because amongst conservatives, there are people who are for making things illegal and against making things illegal. You guys mentioned sex work. How would sex work be regulated? And, you know, would that be a way to take advantage of people? Like, would legal sex work be positive for women?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing it in the Netherlands, and it's been legal for years and years. So if they can do it, why can't we?
Yeah. And it's also happening illegally already. And women are just dealing with pimps instead of, I guess, what would be corporations or being an independent contractor like that.
Right.
Yes, making it illegal makes it safe for people involved. At the end of the day, you pay for every other service. Why not intimacy too?
Yeah. The one question I have about sex work, though, is like, there needs to be an age cutoff, right, of when it's appropriate to do sex work, and then how do women not get drawn into it and get taken advantage of in the field? Because, like, here's the thing. If I'm 18 and I'm broke as a male, and I don't have any job skills, I'm going to be a pizza delivery boy. But what's stopping all those 18-year-old women to just become sex workers who make a lot more money than, say, like a pizza delivery driver would?
If it's safe and it's regulated, then why is there a problem? The way it is right now, where it's illegal, there's a lot of safety issues because, like you were saying, there are pimps and all of that. But if it was regulated and you're in a house that's safe and actually protects you, then there's no problem with it.
Was there anything else you ladies wanted to mention? No? Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Really dig the outfits. Guys, I said I hate figs. Jesus said, can you tell me a little bit more about why you're out here?
Yeah, well, I'm trans. I'm a trans female, and I know these bigots come out here every year. So I just wanted to give a little sign to, play on their words. They normally have a sign that says Jesus hates fags. So I wanted to correct him because, God actually said he hates figs, not fags. So
it's interesting that you mentioned that because, I don't know, there's a lot of drama recently. A conservative radio host named Steven Crowder had a shirt that said, I hate figs, and people thought it was offensive. Do you think that's offensive?
No. It's, like I said, I'm playing words on what they're doing over here. Jesus hates fags. And, Jesus was the kind of person that liked the outcasts of society, the dregs. The prostitutes, the sinners, and for them to be here now and say, well, no, God hates you. Well, no, actually he doesn't. He loves everyone. Who are you to judge?
Why do you think these people are against people being gay and trans and so on and so forth?
Well, I'd have to say little to nothing to do with their lives. I mean, literally, if you had money or friends or anything to do, that's what you would be doing. You'd be out having fun with them.
So we're out here for the Pride March today. I see you have a sign over here. It says, we're all a little gay, so shut up. Could you tell me a little bit more about your sign and what it means for you to be out here?
Well, it's just like, I love my friends that are the same sex as me, even though it's not like as a sexual sort of love. It's like, we're all a little gay in some way, so it's just
gays being like sexually attracted to others. So like, is everybody a little bit sexually attracted to the same sex, do you think?
Sort of. Like, I don't think you can be completely straight or completely gay. There's always like the middle ground. So
everybody's like a little bit bi, you're thinking?
Basically, yeah.
So we're...
In the same way that at the train tracks, you come to the train track and there's lights and there's a gate that goes down to warn you that there's a train coming. That's what we're here to.
So in your metaphor, what is the train? And
the train is the judgment of God.
And who's it running over?
Sinners. Everybody who's not right with God. It's not just homosexuals. It's liars, it's adulterers, it's murderers.
So are you guys also at parades against people lying? Do you guys come out and force?
The only one that holds parades are homosexuals. Murderers don't hold parades and march down the street.
But your guys' signs, they don't say like, God hates liars. Why don't you guys have a God hates liar signs?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Why don't you guys have a God hate liar sign?
There might be one somewhere.
No, because it looks like it's strictly against, homosexuals and abortion, but there are other sins too, right?
Because it's specific to this event. But if we just, say, go into Las Vegas and preach or something, we have entire banners that list out all of the sins. So it just depends on where we're at and what event we're preaching.
A lot of people say that being gay doesn't bother other people. So why should other people care about it? How would you respond to something like that?
Well, I would say it bothers other people if they're going to march in the street like this with the public around and little children, exposing them to that.
Yeah, but realistically, I mean, you guys came here. You guys could... Okay.
Also, you've got diseases like AIDS and all the sexual diseases that are rampant. You've got the suicide rate is higher in the homosexual community than any other community. So is the domestic violence rate. Is higher among lesbians than any other people group. So it does bother other people. Their sin does bother other people.
Absolutely. And I know Trump says that he's pro-gay marriage. So are you guys Trump supporters, and what do you think about that?
I don't agree with him on that point. I am a Trump supporter.
But even though he's pro-gay marriage, and I mean, he hasn't done much in the effect to do away with abortion.
I wouldn't say his stance is pro-gay marriage.
Okay, well, so while Trump was running for president, he was actually the first president to say that he was okay with gay marriage.
Okay, well, I think that just means he's not going to do anything to push against it, basically.
Was there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, sir.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. I wanted to pose the question back to you. What did you think about the questions I was able to ask? Let me know down in the comments. If this is your first time here, guys, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay barely informed.